What's up, fellow lords of gaming? Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. Today we're going to jump right into the December update, Destiny X. So right here off the bat, you can see that in about 12 hours we've got maintenance. So about 7 o'clock tonight, there's going to be a maintenance, 7 p.m. Eastern time. This is not going to be a rolling maintenance. It is going to be an actual maintenance, so I expect the game to be down for some time. But let's jump right in. I'm going to try to give you guys the quick and dirty of my impressions, because I actually read through the notes. This is not like a first impression video like I would normally do. First off the bat, I think that most people will be happy to know that Polaris is going to be attainable for all people, for all players. So she's got some really nice skill effects that we can look at on here. She definitely seems good on paper at the very least. So we'll have to see how the skills play out. This is one of the reasons why I'm not going to play out exactly all the skills for this and go down the skills, because she's already there. But you'll notice that she is going to be a daily biometrics character. So basically get 20 biometrics daily within the special daily growth support. She's going to be inside the store for the Primo Hero chest. And then here goes the part that's going to interest most people, is that she's going to be available in the December updates future pass as a basic reward. So everybody will get 10 Polaris bios, which is good because that means that everyone should be capable of leveling her up to tier 3 at some point by simple virtue of acquiring level up upgrade tickets and things like that. So essentially she's a free-to-play dream, right? Especially since she already looked like waifu. I expect her to be pretty good looking at the skill levels overall. One thing I want to point out is on her third skill, we see that she has fracture, paralysis, and she has accumulation, which looks pretty nice. It's at the 1% level. So we'll have to see what the skills play out over time with. Pay attention to her leadership. Leadership gives her an increased all basic attacks by 45%. That's really good. And then pair that with her polarity effect, her tier 2 passive, and you can see that she increases basic damage dealt to supervillain factions by 45% and decreases basic damage received from supervillain faction by 35%. So with her in the lead, you're essentially getting a 90% attack to supervillains. That's pretty dang good. So she's got a lot of skills. We'll go over those when the update releases. I think this is a pretty big boon and win for the overall. So I like it. It's a pretty nice character addition, especially since players all wanted it. So thank you for that, Marvel. Now on to the rest of the update. Look, I think most people are going to be pretty happy with the update details, especially those for the uniforms. All of the uniforms for the current listed X-Men that we are looking forward to receiving are going to be good. So first up on the docket, Jean Grey. Her uniform looks absolutely amazing. Dark Phoenix coming, looks absolutely amazing. Cyclops, he gets a new uniform. The thing that upsets me about Cyclops is he's getting a new uniform, but he's staying at tier 3. This is a character who has served as a leadership for characters for a while, but he's not getting a tier 4. I think that there would have been some kind of outrage had we got 2 blast tier 4s inside of here. However, it does feel kind of weird to think about that he's basically we're getting a new uniform for him, but no tier 4 inside of this. It just, I don't know. It just feels a little bit weird to see a uniform for Cyclops at tier 3, but no uniform, especially with the new breakthrough. But Jean, however, is looking extra saucy. So all of her skills are going to be doing burn damage effect, and she's looked like she's going to be returned to be a absolute monster of beasts. So you can see here the uniform effect that she's going to gain is going to increase the fire damage by 40%. She's also gaining guard break immunity, so we know what that means. PvP, hello. And decreases additional pierce damage taken by 60%. So if this was a character that you thought you were going to escape from needing to have, you were wrong. This kind of goes to what Beast Mode Gaming was saying inside his videos. She was toxic inside PvP long before, and she's going to be toxic long after. And they kind of ensured it with some of the skill changes, that she originally had. So you can see here she's got increased all resistances. She gets increased skill damage and bonus damage, decreasing basic damage received. She even gets some new updates to her ultimate skill. Her second skill, Phoenix Dive, has enabled the ignore targeting effect. It also has time freezing, burn additional, like, yeah, what doesn't she have is a better question side here. Now, something that I noticed different on her kit that I'm not exactly sure, I'll delve into it later, not now, is that you notice that here applies to self on her third skill. She accumulates pure damage up to 65% of her max HP. I'm interested in that one because it is an accumulation skill, but I want to know if this is going to serve somewhat similar to like Hulk, where his damage is increased by his HP. So basically you could restack the way this character is going to play with HP in some ways to boost her and get pure damage accumulation up to 65% of the max HP. So take that max HP to heights, and yeah, I'm interested to see how that one's going to work overall. So we'll address that inside one of the updates. But on paper, her skills look absolutely amazing, fantastic. Can't complain. The only thing is, like I said, this is going to be a very expensive character. Some people are going to continue down that road and really opt themselves out of being able to get other tier 4s in the immediate short-term future. That's just the truth of the matter. However, if you're getting crystals from PvP, you're going to essentially need this character inside there. Now, your other three uniforms are going to be Cyclops, Beast, and Angel. And looking at Cyclops's, his uniform, they showed a preview inside the December update promotion video. He looks absolutely fantastic inside there. We look at some of his uniform pieces inside here, which applies to self, and then his all allies gets a slight boost inside there. So you can see basically now he's going to be applying an 85% to all energy attack type characters. So all allies will get the basic attack of 45 and 30, but then he'll increase that to 40 to 85 with energy attack type characters. Not a bad thing inside there. Yeah, it's weird because when you look at Polaris, she seems to be a better leadership than him in some ways and fashion. So we'll have to see how that works. The rest of his skills, he still has on his optic rain, the accumulation, 10% of pure damage when attacking, 1% increase of all basic attacks. So that's really nice. He's got some paralysis effects on his skills, fracture as well. And then you can see over here, he ignored target's dodge rates by 50%. This should make him a good go-to world boss legend killer. Right, so it's still at tier 3. Hopefully the uniform makes him pretty powerful, so you forget the fact that he's not getting a tier 4. Now, outside of that, we are getting Transcendence Awakenings for 3 characters: Beast, Angel, and Bishop. Now, I don't know how many times I'll have to say this inside a video with Marvel Future Fight, but if you know, then you know. Right, so Beast gets a new uniform and a Transcendence skill. Bishop doesn't get a new uniform, but he does get his Transcendence. And then Angel gets a new uniform and his Transcendence skill. Now, great thing about this is that Beast does look like he's going to be a nice support for characters overall with the uniform. They've kind of made it default to want to have his uniform, because if you look at his uniform effect, it's not on his leadership, it's on his uniform effect. So you just have to have him on the team. He gives a 40% increase of HP to all allies, and he ignored target's dodge rate by 25%. So he's giving those to all allies. So this is pretty damn good, because this is going to be great for like if you're playing with Hulk, right? Because I don't have to have, Beast in leadership. I can put Beast on the side. He's going to give that 40% increase, and he'll give that target dodge rate by 25%. That's pretty good. His leadership applies to all allies. He essentially is giving 50% increase of physical attack and critical damage increase by 10%. That's pretty nice. Can't really complain about it. Now, Beast does have an accumulation skill on there for 10% pure damage, 1% increase all basic attacks. And looking at the rest of his skills, he definitely looks kitted out to be a good support character. But I think the main reason that most people are going to be purchasing is because of this uniform effect. So you can look at some of his other passives and stuff like that, and it definitely looks like he's going to be a support character that is going to be able to do more damage, but that you'll probably have him in reserve specifically for that uniform effect. That doesn't mean that he couldn't be a leadership as well with a nice 50% increase of physical attack. The critical damage is the thing that takes it over the top, because there's already characters in the game who can give you better benefits of physical attack than just that 50%. But, you know, like I said, he looks like a support character in reserve, so support DPS character, right? Um, Angel is getting a nice little boost and update as well here. He's getting his Angel Arthur. What is it? I can never remember what his first name is. His Worthington look. So he's basically getting his very human looking form. He gives dodge rate increase by 30% and 50% increase of recovery rate to all allies on his uniform effect. You know, nothing there for his leadership to write home about, but then you can see like he applies nothing to self as well, but he gets the true damage accumulation. Looking at his skills that he had inside the chart, I'm really interested to see how these play out more than what they're written on paper. But the uniform effect isn't even really something that I'm necessarily like, woohoo, you know, like that's got to be something that's there. The recovery rate is pretty nice because for a character like Jean Grey, who's dealing with the recovery, you might want to have him teamed up on a team because it's applying to all allies anyways, right? And then Bishop, unfortunately, my man Bishop is getting a whole lot of nothing. He's getting his transcendent skill, which is cool, but not much there anyways in the shape form of that. Jean Grey's, her tier 4 ability, you can see here is that she's reflecting 100% of damage received for up to 45% of her max attack. And she gets an accumulation of 10% pure damage when attacking and 1.8% increase of all basic attack. So it's almost effectively like she's getting 2 accumulations here. One for the accumulation for the max HP and another one for the normal pure damage attack accumulation at 1.8%. She is going to be a bit of a badass beast inside PvP. I'm interested to see how that's going to affect inside So the awakening skill effects, they're all pretty much the same. There's some slight differences. I'll show you bishops and angels and, you know, beasts, and you can see that they're pretty much all the same, pretty much standard fare as well. Frenzy buffs and crit rates and ignore target dodges and stuff like that inside the transcendence, which should make the characters a little bit playable. The skill, to be perfectly honest, doesn't really look much, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like I've seen better skills, looking skills, but yeah, you know, we'll see how it looks in game, but it doesn't really look like much in my opinion. Like I'm like, yeah, all right, you know, we could have had better, but it is what it is. Now, to the exciting news, the most exciting news I think for this update is the fact that we are getting new world boss legend Dark Phoenix. So now we will have a full rotating roster of 5 world boss legends. Jean Grey will be giving a CTP of authority. It doesn't really appear, even though that they say they are, that they've improved very much in terms of the way of rewards, however. So whether she's harder, more difficult, or whatever, the reward tree still particularly looks the same. Like, I mean, the reward tree is the reward tree. The only difference here is that now you're acquiring Phoenix Feathers and Emcron Crystals, and with the cap on those, and I didn't see any notes in here to say we're removing those caps. It's like, okay. So those are the main rewards. We can see Phoenix Feathers, Emcron Crystals, Essence of Dimension, Titan Component Packs, the Carbonadium, the Life Seeds is still inside there, and then the Mighty CTP of Authority. So today's World Boss does preclude you from getting the Phoenix Feathers and Emcron Crystals. Thank the gods for that, right? Because that's not what we're short on, and we've never been short on those. So cool. For clearing stage 10, we're also getting a special icon, the Chaos Bringer. Now, one of the notes that they put inside here is that the Conquer effects basically have been added for Ultimate, Thanos, and all World Boss Legends. So what is the Conqueror effects that they specifically talk about in here? Essentially, each Conqueror effect is going to be a little bit different. So that's what they say. So for here, you can see they gave us the example of Gore, right? So his legend, you're basically getting a basic damage increase against Gore, a basic damage increase against Dark Phoenix. Those are the ones that we see there, so you know those are going to be what it is. So what is your Conqueror level? If you go inside World Boss, your World Boss here, I did World Boss for today. So if you go inside World Boss and you choose any one of your characters, right? So I can go here, look at Gore, and then I can see here, I have Conqueror levels, right? So as I go up in Conqueror levels, basically from just playing the boss and getting those, I get rewards for those. And you can see also at various Conqueror levels that there's a indication of resist level, right? So those resist levels basically tells them how much damage I'm doing to the character, how much I'm getting rid of. So those resist effects are going to be increased because they're going to go for 200 levels. The basic damage that I'm doing to bosses will be increased as well. So they're essentially making it a little bit easier, right? So that's basically what you're looking at. Next up, what they've got is a 2020-22 event token archive reward. So essentially, basically, if you've archived all these tokens and you've collected those or whatever that they've done, then you will get the 2022 what do you call it, the Luna Snow event token over here, or special icon. So lastly up is that we have the artifacts for the game. There's a host of them because we're looking at 6 characters realistically, and if you notice that there's going to be Polaris's looks pretty good, increased basic damage dealt to enemies with 50% or HP or below. But Jean Grey's, oh my god, if they didn't want to make her any more of a beast, and once you're searching down inside the artifacts, you can see increased basic damage to 20 and increased basic damage to supervillains 20. Cyclops, if you weren't sure that he was supposed to be there for World Boss Legend and Ultimate, now you're sure, because increased basic damage to boss types by 20%. And then we can see over here Beast, recovery of HP for himself. We can see Nightcrawler. Angel is getting 20% chance to dodge all attacks. And then down here on the bottom is Bishop with ignore target's dodge rate by 20% and increase all basic attacks by 25%. My man needs a uniform. I hate when we see those. I think most players hate when we see those, when we get uniforms without transcendences or transcendences without uniforms. It just doesn't quite make sense. So yeah, I don't know. There's a number of special icons inside the shop, and they've made some small improvements to purchasing energy and things like that overall. So look out for those. We've got a new Cyclops Optic Blast special icon that I'm really interested in getting. We'll see what it is, but I do enjoy this Cyclops Optic Blast one. Some of the other ones that are included there are Angel, Dark Phoenix, Polaris, and the new Luna Snow one as well. By the way, I almost forgot about that. So you can see here, this is the Dark Phoenix one, and then I think the other ones are kind of like whatever. Some people might be really interested in the very angelic look of but I'm not there for it, right? So the 2022 icon that I think everybody should be getting as long as you've been playing throughout 2022 with Luna Snow. She's always a favorite. I'm surprised that we're not seeing a uniform yet, but we still got the mid-month coming, so maybe we will see. But that's everything in this update. I will jump back in with you guys after the update to give you more information. Until next time, peace.